Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. We begin here at 6 with possible changes to the rules around how and when Multnomah County hands out tents and tarps to homeless people. That is, if one candidate for Portland mayor has his way.
So let's get right to Blair Best live outside City Hall. Blair, this sounds a little familiar.
Portland City Commissioner and mayoral candidate Renee Gonzalez wants to put restrictions on how often Multnomah County can hand out tent and tarps to homeless people. It's a controversial topic. We've heard it before, but it could change the future of the county's response to homelessness. Currently, Multnomah County's budget includes $230,000 for more than 6,000 tents. And data shows last year they gave out more than 24,000 tarps under what's considered harm reduction. Commissioner Gonzalez, who's part of a new committee on the Joint Office of Homeless Services, is proposing tightening restrictions around those efforts, like handing out smaller tents, marking which ones the county pays for, and only providing them during extreme cold weather, as well as tracking the number of tents given out. Mayor Ted Wheeler's office would not say if they agree with this proposal, but tells KGW they recognize the need for a nuanced approach. City Commissioner and mayoral candidate Carmen Rubio also weighing in here, saying she supports reforms that don't create a worse situation on the streets.
I think we owe it to our taxpayers, to our residents, to continue to fight to clean up our sidewalks.
The tarps that I have right now, obviously they have holes in them and it's not very effective, but the tents and tarps, I mean, it's kind of all that we have to stay dry during the winter.
Now, this proposal from Commissioner Gonzalez comes just a few weeks before the city is set to vote again on whether or not they will continue funding the county-led Joint Office of Homeless Services. We're talking $30 million a year here, and how the county responds to this proposal could be a deciding factor, but we won't know for sure until October 15th when the county provides an updated policy around tent and tarp distribution. But today, a county spokesperson tells us it's their responsibility to provide resources to those on our streets. Back to you.
All right, so key vote in October, not to mention a key election a few weeks after that. Thank you, Blair. In your headlines, a police officer was hit by a stray bullet in a shooting in Portland's Central East Side overnight. This is near Grand and Burnside. Officers say they were in the area on an unrelated call when gunfire erupted from passing vehicles. One bullet went into an officer's boot. He was not seriously injured. Another person who was injured was taken to the hospital. No word on any arrests.
Portland police have made an arrest in a shooting this summer that left a man dead in the Lloyd district. In late July, 45-year-old Jacob Forrest was shot and killed on a sidewalk at Northeast 6th and Holiday. Yesterday, homicide detectives arrested 27-year-old Crescencio Flores on outstanding warrants and charged him in Forrest's murder. Police have not said what they think may have led up to the shooting or if the two knew each other.
Authorities have arrested a 14-year-old Newport High School student after they allegedly posted a threat against the school on social media. Police say they found out about the post on Snapchat around 6 last night, though authorities determined there was not an active threat. That teen is now charged with disorderly conduct.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office is hoping you can help find 79-year-old Penelope Stanley. She was last seen in Milwaukee Monday evening, and her phone's last location was in Estacada. The Sheriff's Office says she's in danger and takes critical medications. She's believed to be driving a dark blue Mazda CX with license plate number 784 MEP. You see that there on your screen. She is 5'3" with gray hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a multicolored button-up shirt with black pants. If you see her, call police.
And in Newburgh, the school board has now placed Superintendent Stephen Phillips, who spent a couple months on medical leave, on paid administrative leave. The board citing unspecified allegations from an internal investigation. You may remember in July, the board voted not to renew Phillips' contract after finding out the district was nearly $4 million in debt. Phillips is now also suing the district for publicly blaming him for the crisis. The district says it is interviewing finalists to replace him, at least in the interim, next week. Matt?
All right, David, thanks very much. Boy, it was a really rainy day, right? But look, we're already getting blue sky over Portland. Well, maybe not already, but finally getting some blue sky over Portland. The rain has stopped. Temperatures in the mid-60s, clearing out of the coast. And finally, looking at the Reserve Golf Course over in Washington County, and it's almost a completely clear blue sky with the sun as it approaches the horizon, beaming brightly. 62 degrees, but yes, the rain has ended, and a lot of people heading to Providence Park for that concert tonight, and things are drying out now, and we should be in good shape for the rest of the night. Doppler radar telling the same story. We had some pretty heavy rainfall. I'll share those amounts with you a little bit later on, but it was a prolific day rainfall wise. This front is now pushing east. We had some thunderstorms with the lightning strikes winding down quickly, so we're pretty much done with that as well. With the clearing sky and the recent rainfall, that's a great recipe, especially the longer nights of fall now and light winds, for fog to form. So expect fog for the morning commute tomorrow. That may slow things down a bit. But we go back to sunny weather as soon as tomorrow. It's happening now even, right? And it warms up again next week. Could we go back to the 80s? I'll let you know in just a bit, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. People in a southeast Portland neighborhood are frustrated after a judge allowed an alleged kidnapper and accused sexual predator out of jail, headed back to his house 1,000 feet from his alleged victim's home.
Libby Dowsett's in the newsroom, though. Libby, it sounds like the judge put some conditions on his release.
Yes, he will be under house arrest, but allowed to go to certain appointments and grocery shopping. But neighbors are shocked the man accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting an intellectually disabled woman was even allowed to return home. We were the first to tell the group home manager and other staff at the house where the victim lives that Robert Bryant was out of jail and living right down the street. The woman, who identified herself as the manager, said she's shocked and scared and didn't want to be on camera. She said, "I don't know how they came to that decision. I don't want anything bad to happen to her or my staff. It doesn't feel safe. We were relieved when he was in custody." In a court hearing Tuesday, the defense asked for Bryant's release. Records show the court granted it and did not find clear and convincing evidence there would be a danger to the victim or members of the public if Bryant was released.
We have children in the neighborhood, several, and if I were their parents, I would be frantic.
Bryant is accused of kidnapping the victim as she walked down the street September 16th. Ring camera video shows the woman walking and then what's allegedly Bryant's white truck driving by. We've blurred the woman's image to protect her identity. Prosecutors say Bryant also sexually assaulted her and left her a few blocks down the street. One neighbor, who didn't want to speak on camera, said there must have been a misstep in the justice system to allow someone accused of these crimes to come back to the neighborhood where the victim lives and kids live right next door. And we contacted Bryant's defense attorney for more explanation about that release. He told us no comment. We also called the judge, who rejected the prosecutor's argument to keep Bryant behind bars. So far, no word back. Bryant is expected back in court again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Libby. Appreciate the follow-up tonight. In Salem today, lawmakers held a hearing where they asked questions about now more than 1,200 non-citizens in Oregon ended up registered to vote.
The DMV called it a clerical error that happened when people applied for a driver's license. The agency says workers mistakenly chose the wrong document as proof of citizenship, which allowed those applicants to be automatically registered to vote. The agency says it's made changes, so staff will now be prompted with more steps to make sure the correct option is chosen.
Just to be clear, that you didn't have anything set up ahead of time to audit this for these issues.
Chair Bowman and Representative Helfrich, that's correct.
How many of those 1,259 were sent ballots for the elections, for multiple elections since 2021? Do we know that?
Chair Bowman, Representative Scharf, we have not done an analysis on that. I believe it is possible, and I'm happy to talk to my team and get back to you.
Well, the Secretary of State's office says only 9 of those people actually voted in an election, and all 1,200 have now been removed from the voter rolls. Pat and team are going to take a closer look, including your reaction to the mistakes, which were made repeatedly over a number of years. That is just ahead at 6:30 on The Story.